Hello guys, I hope you guys are having a good day today. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the male loneliness epidemic. And I just wanted to just share some thoughts within this problem that we're facing currently in our generation. And it has to do with the fact that a lot of guys, from what I've seen, are struggling with genuine connections or genuine relationships with their other peers. And it's not just in terms of maybe finding a girl or someone to be with in the long term. Let's just say boyfriend girlfriend relationship, or husband wife. It's not even that aspect, but I noticed that even nowadays, a lot of guys, even in terms of their own circle, when they're just finding guy friends, bros, whatever. It's statistics have shown that a lot of people, especially a lot of guys, they're not having the connections that they want, or they're having lack of genuine connections to begin with. And what does that cause? It causes these feelings of loneliness to rise up, and it can, in the long term, it can even affect the person's overall mood, their mental health. And it can even cause worst case scenario, it can cause depression. It can cause people to even commit suicide because of it, because even that's one of the main factors that's related to suicide, is that a lot of guys they don't have they feel lonely. And the thing is though, this video will be talking about more specifically about the male loneliness, because and this is what I want to explain the differences between how females, they say that oh, I feel lonely, I don't have connections, and compared to guys. The thing is though, if you were to look at society today and how it's structured within this modern day, more often than not, and maybe you've seen it for yourselves, that if you were to go outside, you, for the most part, it seems like girls have more easier time to make friends compared to guys. And just hear me out on this. So, and this is the thing that I've seen as well. And what I mean by that is that when these girls, when they find their own clique of friends, and they decide to hang out, they decide to do a lot of things together, I noticed that girls, they want to seek attention, they want to seek external validation. This is one of their main dopamine hits, if you were to say. They always crave this. And because of this, and the way that they're more emotional and more attuned to their emotions, they can easily relate to the other person and freely express what they're feeling at that moment without fear of judgment. Because as girls, we've seen it, they always talk about how this friend treated them, or maybe they might talk about oh, I don't like this girl, the way she looked at me, or things like that. Or maybe they're going through something and then they're opening up to you deeply, this is how they feel, and they're very attuned to that because it's within their biology to express that more openly. And that's why girls, let's just say when they go through a breakup or whatever, they have this circle that they can fall back to, and they can somewhat relate to them, right? However, as guys, it's different, because the thing is though, take this as an analogy. There's a joke that there's a YouTuber named Upna J, and in one of his shorts, I've seen it, he made this funny comment where it's when the girl is trying to tell him to open up his feelings, right? And then he said the best comment ever. He was saying that when guys open up their feelings, it's us guys asking you what do you want to eat? You just don't know, so that's the thing. Us as guys, we're not really attuned to opening up how we feel, especially to other guys, because look, then again, this is where how society has raised us, right? And especially in this modern day era, it's very weird. It's very, very weird. And they say that okay, you can be whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, you can even identify as whatever genders you want. But at the same time, when a guy he expresses his feelings, or he says things that are deeper, he gets make fun of it. People start making fun of him. They start calling him a pussy. They start calling him oh yeah, you're a coward, why are you expressing your feelings, what type of man are you, just man up, bro, fool, just freaking just suck it up and just go with it. What is this double standard? I don't understand. Maybe back in the old days, yeah, sure, it was different, right? Guys don't they didn't have the time to express their feelings or whatever. But now, since we're living in the modern day era, like, where is this double standard coming from? But then again, what I'm saying is that, like, as guys, like, we don't have like this safe space or like this area where we can freely express like how we actually genuinely feel. Even if we were to just like say to like a guy who's be like, yo man, like, you could say to him that, like, the guy that you know for a long time, you've been good friends for him, even just saying that, like, yo, like, I really appreciate the things that you're doing for me, like, it's kind of weird, because like I said, we're not really open to express like these feelings within us, right? And who knows, maybe the friend that's getting that message, he might take it the wrong way. You'd be like, bro, are you gay or something? Like, bro, what are you talking about? But then again, this is what I'm trying to say. So how is this related to the loneliness epidemic? This is the point that I was trying to make. And the main point that I was making from this analogy is that the reason why guys are suffering from loneliness, or at least like one of the main reasons, is that, like I said, is lack of genuine connection. They don't feel open to express what they feel with one another. They're not willing to like engage in deeper conversations. They're not willing to just most of the time they're trying to like keep everything at face value, because at the end of the day, this is just how society is. We want to like keep a certain image, we want to keep a certain reputation amongst the masses, and anything that's deeper than that just makes the other uncomfortable, right? So there's another problem. It could be like lack of authenticity within this day and age as well. So and there's that. Now, other factors that also contribute to this loneliness within this, especially for the male space, is that, that was one of the factors. And the second factor, it could be because of social media. Social media has definitely, this actually goes back to the lack of authenticity, because like when you're not authentic with yourself, for a fact that like you're not really like being true to yourself. You're not really expressing how you really feel in the moment. And I feel like social media has really like what's the word for it? Like it really increased like this effect of feeling inauthentic. So what do I mean by that? Like I said, it's the same thing with social media. You go on Instagram, you go on Snapchat, you go on all of these platforms. You start like posting certain images or certain videos or certain highlights of your life. Highlights. This is the key word, highlights. That you're showing to your peers, like, oh yeah, look at me, I'm having such a good time, blah blah blah. But then again, those are just moments within your life. How about the rest of your life? Is it like all the time? Like, is it like just filled with highlights, or like you're looking good or whatever? No, life doesn't work that way. It's a freaking roller coaster. Sometimes you're going up, and sometimes you just go crashing down, and then you're like, what the fuck am I at? But then again, this is what it is. So, and because of this, social media has an effect on how society should play out, how people should like connect with one another, how people should talk to one another, how people should just like be like quote unquote politically correct. Which then again, that's like another topic for another day. But what I'm trying to make is that like like since now there's more expectations, especially towards the guys, right? Because like now we were first covering the relations between friendships, right? When a guy being like a guy friend like connected with another guy friend, right? Now we're going to be talking about like relationships, right? And part of the reason why guys like feel lonely is because at the end of the day, let's be real, like they're not getting the physical like intimacy, or they're not really getting the connections with the opposite gender as much, because with all of these expectations that have now been placed by social media, by all like these like stupid like TikTokers or whatever, you see like how it has like a drastic effect within society as a whole. I can say like, for instance, girls like they want like the top tier guy. They want like a guy who's like earning 6 figures. He's like freaking 6 foot. He's like matching like this requirement, and it's like, oh yeah, he looks handsome as well. He does all this. But imagine like the average guy out there within society is not like that. Okay, like I said, social media, it only just portrays a certain image, maybe with a certain type of guys. Girls, even the average looking girls, they have this resource to, like I said, to search like these people, you know, really dive into to these people, and just be like, okay, maybe this is just the norm. But then again, what does it do? Not only it affects the guys, because like now it's gonna like demotivate them and be like, oh, I can't even get a girl in this first place. But at the same time, even those average looking girls, even though they might get like a lot of DMs or responses or whatever, they're not getting the guys that they want at the end of the day. So not only are they not getting the quote unquote chads, but at the same time, they're not even getting the average guys. So who loses in both? And at the end of the day, who loses is both people. Like, and then again, then you have like this other issue of like nowadays, like I don't know why this is like popping off in social media, but like it's like men versus women. Like, where did this even come from? I don't understand. But that's the thing. These are like the issues within modern day society, and with the rise of like technology, especially with AI, which is kind of like frightening, because like, you know, I feel like AI would just make people even feel even way more lonelier than what we're currently feeling right now. That's just like my opinion. But then again, these are just like my thoughts and what I think is causing one of the main factors of male loneliness, because this is a very like complicated it's a very like complicated problem that a lot of guys are suffering from. But then again, it doesn't like, it's not really like how would I say, like explained from a different perspective, you know, because then again, I've experienced this, you know, as a guy. Like, I've experienced like many times of feeling this absolute dread of loneliness, and it's not a good feeling to go through, you know, because at the end of the day, we're humans, we're social creatures. We need others, you know, we need others' support. We need people to like reaffirm that, like, look, we have like some value, we have like some effect within this world, you know. Because at the end of the day, imagine a friend that you know, and he tells you, he's like, yo, I appreciate you, you know, like I really genuinely enjoy your company, or like, you know, I wish I could talk to you more, or like things like that, bro. It makes us feel good. Like, it will make anyone feel good. It'll be like, oh, this guy values me, you know, like I actually have some, you know, value to the world. That's what it is. But then again, with this rise of inauthenticity and social media, and at the same time, like, you know, these unwavering expectations from both genders and lack of like genuine connections, I feel like this is why it's causing a lot of like guys especially to feel this way, because they don't even have like their own circle to like begin with, where they can like even talk about these things without fear of judgment, you know. Because at the end of the day, even if you do talk about these things, they'll be like, bro, like, what the fuck is this guy even talking about, you know, even though deep down, you know, like that's the issue. But then again, it's this is just the way it is. But hopefully this is just my thoughts. I hope you guys gain like some insight from it. Maybe if there's like some things that you agree or disagree with, please feel free, you know, to place in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hopefully I get to see you guys soon in the future.